Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back. In this video, we're going to set up all of the plugins that we installed in the last lesson. So if you haven't installed all of your plugins into your website yet, go back and do that, because if you don't, this lesson's not going to make any sense. So with that said, let's hop back on over to our website and start setting things up. All right, so we're back here on our WordPress backend, and we're going to go on the left side here. We're going to go to Plugins. We're going to go to Installed Plugins. And this is going to show us all the plugins that we already have installed. And then the first thing that I like to do is go right down the right side here and enable auto updates for everything. Now, I'm sure there's some IT people that want to slap me right now just for doing automatic updates, but I don't care. I want to do this to be passive, and I haven't had that many problems by going automatic updates. So we're going to come in. We're just going to click down the right side, enable auto updates for all, or at least everyone that we can. All right, so after we have auto updates turned on, we're going to just work down each plugin, and we're going to set them up. Now, Askemet, we did this in the previous lesson. Blog to social, we'll hop in here with settings. I'll show you how this works. First thing we're going to do here, we're going to set up our time zone. After we set up our time zone, we come over here to where it says social media networks. So if you go over here, you'll see a list of all of the supported social networks. And then down here on this blue button, this is how you can connect them all. Now, I don't actually have any socials set up for this website yet, so I can't show you how to integrate them. But it's really as simple as just adding a profile, adding your username. Here, I'll show you. You literally just click add profile. Log into the social network that you want to add, and then it will just link the two of them up. The last thing you can do with this plugin is you can actually set your time and check the best time to post, and you can set it so that it only shares when it's the best time to post. And then here you go, you can see this. It'll show you when over here, which I thought is pretty cool. So that's it for blog to social. Coming back on over to our list of plugins, we've already done Imagify. Insert headers and footers. There really isn't much to do there. Jetpack we've already set up. PHP compatibility checker. We're not going to need to do that until we actually upgrade WordPress, which could be in a couple weeks, could be in a couple months, could be tomorrow. We don't know when WordPress updates come out. Rank math. This will be something that we use inside of our posts. Nothing left to do inside of really simple SSL. Thrive Art, all the Thrive product leads, we're going to do this last. Okay, as far as WP Rocket is concerned, there's a couple little settings that we're going to have to go and change. So let's head on over to WP Rocket. And then right off the bat, you're going to see this little red thing up here that says Endurance Cache is currently enabled. It will conflict with WP Rocket Cache. So what we're going to do here, we can just click here at Settings General, or if you don't see this, right over here, Settings, we can click down here on General and go all the way to the bottom. You see the Endurance Cache. We're going to move this to level 0. Save that. And then we're going to go right back to WP Rocket. And that's gone. The one thing that I want to do here is go down here on the sidebar in WP Rocket, click on Media, and we're going to turn Lazy Load on. What Lazy Load does is Lazy Load's not going to load the full web page right away. So if someone clicks onto your article or someone clicks onto your website, it's not going to load all the images until they actually scroll that far down the web page. This will help boost your site loading times and also boost your search rankings. So we're going to enable this for iframes, videos, and images. And now if you're using Imagify, you want to enable the WebP caching. If you're not using Imagify, you're probably not going to have this option. And then after we're done with that, we'll just hit Save Changes. And now WP Rocket is all set up. Now back on over to the installed plugins page. This is where we're going to set up our backup now. Hop in here and we're going to set up settings onto Updraft Plus. Now, once we get into Updraft Plus, we're going to click on the settings here and we're going to define where we want our site backed up to. Now, I like to set one up here daily. Set these up here daily. Now on the bottom here, these are just all different web-based storage. Depending upon whatever you have, you're going to set this up yourself. So I'm going to set mine up off camera because there's a little bit of passwords and personal information on there. But I'm going to go set up, I have a Google Drive. All right, after you've created your backup, you're going to be taken back to the screen. I used Google Drive, and now it's going to say success. I've authenticated my Google Drive account, and now I have it set that every single day my website's going to be backed up. So that way, if for whatever reason I lose my data, I don't have to start from scratch. There's one or two more settings that we need to set up before we can get to our theme. So now back into WordPress, we're going to go here to settings. And then once we're inside settings, we're going to come down here to permalinks. Come down to permalinks. And what this is going to do is this is going to change the default URL structure of your site. Now it defaults to day and name. So it'll have your domain plus the date of the post / the name of the post. Google hates this. Users hate this because nobody cares what date the post was done. So if you want something for SEO and you want Google to recognize things easily, just come right down here, click post name. So now it's going to have your domain / your post And that's it. Come down here, click Save Changes. And then the next thing that we're going to do is head on over to the Reading tab. And then on your reading settings, right here where it says for each post in a feed, include a summary. What this is going to do, if you leave it, it defaults to full text. If you leave it on the default at full text, when somebody clicks on a category on your website and they see, posts on a page, they're going to see the full post on that page. And you really don't want that, because then your page is going to be 4 miles long. If you leave it to a summary, it'll shorten every post and it'll be more manageable for the reader. Click that, click Save Changes, same thing. And then the last one here we're going to come into here is discussion. We're going to go into that setting. Click on discussion. Now up here where it says default post settings, I discourage people from allowing to comment. I'm not going to allow comments on my website because I find that's where most of the spam ends up. People put some really crazy links, especially in the beginning before your site really has much authority. So for now, I'm just going to uncheck and disallow comments so people can't comment on my website. And then these are all comment settings, but if you don't allow comments, you don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to come all the way down here, click Save Changes. I'm going to save the themes for the next lesson just to keep this one small and manageable. So I will see you in the next video where we actually set up our theme.